You are now tuning in to the Going North podcast with your host, best-selling author, and professional speaker, and member of the John Maxwell team, Dominic Dom Brightman. And every Monday and Thursday, we're going to hear the voice of a different author sharing their gifts, stories, and expertise to help you charge forward in life. Now let's get on with the show. And today on the Going North podcast, where we bring you some wonderful humans from across the globe doing extraordinary things. Today's no different because we got a powerhouse in the building, y'all. A powerhouse Wonder Woman in the business, y'all. This wonderful lady right here founded a company back in 2005 as a means to help other small businesses. And she loves to be able to help and has devoted her career to helping others. From her start in the telecom industry, she was always trying to help her clients, find ways to reach out to business associates and families overseas to keep in touch. And since then, she's moved into the nonprofit world and worked as a fundraiser for her alma mater, where she raised funds for the university's annual fund and oversaw the alumni affairs program for the university. And in addition to that, she's also frequently requested to speak in front of groups frequently, and is on the speaker bureau for the Small Business Development Center, SCORE, a top college and several top global accounting firms. She's also looked at as an expert by countless commercial and investment banks and the more than 1,000 organizations that have worked with her over the years. And in addition to that, she's also been honored as one of the awardees of the 2016 Influential Businesswoman of the Year by the Acquisition International Magazine, among other honors in her vast career. And for those who haven't been living under five rocks, you probably know who I'm talking about. It's the one, the only Jennifer Glass. How are you today, ma'am?
I am doing great, Tom. Thank you so much for having me today.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Welcome to the Going North podcast. It's the land of dad jokes disguised as an interview. How's it feel?
I love the dad jokes and stuff. I mean, one of my best friends does it all the time, so keep them coming.
That's right, rapid fire. That's right, rapid fire water gun goodness. That's right. Well, as with all introductions, is not allowed to be 500 hours long, so I'm filling in some gaps where I've missed some things in the introduction.
Really, in terms of the introduction, it was a great introduction. I love helping people, and I've made it my career to be out there helping individuals, businesses, communities constantly grow. I love doing that. As our communities get stronger, our nations get stronger, and that is always a good thing, and that's exactly what I've been doing throughout my career. And for many years, I have been coaching businesses to help them really find the strategies and the marketing opportunities to really help them reach those goals that they can continue to raise their business.
There you go. Putting the weed on the businesses, helping them get higher. That's right.
Yes. Going north, right?
Oh, yeah. That's right. To the moon and beyond.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of moon and beyond, you used to be a co-author, and now you got this brand new book coming out all on your own. So how's it feel?
I love it. It is an incredible opportunity, a stressful one too, I won't lie, but being in a position that you can get your ideas out there, be in a position that you are helping shape the ideas and ways that people who may not even know you yet find ways that they can grow their business is an incredible opportunity. And I am very honored that so many people have already asked me for orders, for the book as soon as it does come out.
Yeah, that's right. That's right indeed. And the beautiful thing about it is or at least the advanced copy I got, it's under 100 pages, so it's a quick read.
It was designed to be that way so that business owners who are extremely busy in their own lives can get through it, find the 8 strategies that are, the focus of most of the marketing strategies that I work with my clients, so that they can get the idea, all right, this one works, and, an example is the joint venture strategy. That is an extremely easy one that just about any business can look at. And it's so funny how often it's overlooked. I mean, the joint venture strategy, for those of you that don't know, is you partner up with a company or an organization that is already talking to or working with your ideal client. And, take, for instance, a florist. I had a florist client who was in need of significant business. What did we say? We said, let's look at who else your people are already talking to. There's 2 major industries that the floral industry serve. I'm going to take the happy one, the bridal market. The bridal market is huge, right? A couple comes in, and what happens? The guy may walk in, he already knows that he wants to propose, so he's going to go to the flower shop. He's going to buy, maybe a dozen roses to give to his girlfriend, and he's going to, then say, I want to propose, so it's got to be something that looks great. So what's the florist going to do? The florist says, hey, by the way, if you didn't already know, there's this amazing jeweler who can give you a great deal on a ring so that you can get the ring. It's 2 blocks up that way, whatever it is. The guy goes to the jeweler. The jeweler says, the flower shop gave you the information. That's great. Here's the deal. And by the way, here's our trusted list of vendors through the entire process, whether it's the event planner, the catering, the hall, the officiant, the DJ, the photographer, you name the industry, anyone that's already in that related field is an amazing opportunity. But so many business owners think, yeah, I can only focus on what I do because I can't do anything else. And they leave so much money on the table. So one of the strategies that I talk about in the book is all about a joint venture strategy so that you can get the idea and you can start implementing it. You don't have to spend money to be successful in marketing. How much money are you spending printing up a sheet of paper that says, here's my suggested vendors? 2 cents a page? That's not spending money.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you can at least get that one customer who will basically offset the cost of printing all that marketing material.
Absolutely. And then if I can just add another quick strategy, upsell. The upsell strategy, that same florist, nothing against all you guy listeners, and Dom, please don't take this negatively either. Many guys forget important dates, right? You often hear the joke, yeah, he forgot our anniversary, or, oh, darn, it's, 8 o'clock at night, it's my anniversary, and I completely forgot. What am I going to do? The florist, the same florist, can use a program called the Never Forget Me Club. The guy walking in can sign up, put his bride-to-be's birthday down, their anniversary down, his mother-in-law's birthday down, his mother's birthday down, and every time that any of their birthdays, special days, whatever come up, the florist automatically delivers flowers. He looks like a hero instead of a zero. So easy, and it doesn't take anything, and you're increasing transactions and the value of your client.
Yeah, that's a great example right there, and it's kind of like the perspective folks need to have in the business world, like with whatever product you're selling, is to have a customer that stays and not just a one-time customer.
Absolutely. It's all about increasing value from everybody that you touch.
Yeah, that's right. See, everybody has a giant gold bar with unicorn horns, right?
I love your metaphors.
Yeah.
I got to remember that one.
Yeah, if I could tell you visualize that one. Well, yes, indeed. Though it's great to have strategies like that, and not only that, but also doing something that a lot of folks have a hard time doing, and that's drilling down to that expertise and really finding, I guess what they call it nowadays, the perfect customer avatar.
Right, your avatar, figuring out who your ideal client is. But realize, so many people are so concerned over finding the exact persona of who their ideal buyer is going to be. And, obviously, I can't market women's vitamins. A man is probably not going to be interested in buying those products. But he may if he has someone that he has to shop for. So you have to just make your messaging make sense based on how you're actually putting it out there. And that's what marketing is. It's making people see the value in your product, but make it that you're not doing the Walmart model and the race to the bottom on price. Because for every dollar that you discount, you have to make $2 back just to break even. So you want to be looking at how you're going after your clients. You want to be looking at what you're doing to generate the revenue so that you can really maximize your value. Because if you're giving the race to the bottom, you're going to end up not having a business to talk about because you're not getting anywhere. It's the smart marketing, the smart sales that are going to generate the value for your business. And that's really what you're going to be getting when you're looking at my book, to get some of these ideas in terms of, well, yeah, I can do this, I can do that, so I can really increase my business without worrying about Amazon, without worrying about Walmart and all of those guys in terms of the industry. Because when you know how to properly attract your clients, you're going to be magnetically attracting them to you, whether or not Amazon, Walmart, and all of those guys remain in business.
Yeah, definitely right about that, because Sears themselves, before they finally caved in, they were around for at least a good 150 years.
Yes.
They stayed around for a long time. And folks, they still had customers. Sure, they didn't have the amount of customers they needed, among other things with bad practices, but they still survived, and it could be an inspiration. It was before the whole death of the company, is that, hey, you can survive too.
Right. I mean, look at the Walgreens, CVS's, Rite Aids, all those massive national drugstore chains. We still have plenty of mom-and-pop drugstores. I know here in the town where I live, there's 2 drugstores right on the main street in the town, and they're both right across the street from a CVS or Walgreens. And it's because of the marketing that they have been doing that they have remained in business, even though CVS and Walgreens is right across the street from them. And one of them actually has a CVS and Walgreens across the street from them. And by the way, I have absolutely no revenue share or anything coming from all of these companies, just throwing that out there.
Yeah. You ever think CVS and Walgreens are working together? Because it's like when one of them appears, the other one appears across the street from them.
Oh, yeah. Pep Boys and AutoZone. Those are 2 of the big car parts stores. So I was working at one point with someone who was always looking for new locations. I forgot which one they were working for, but the Pep Boys and AutoZone, if one is in a certain area, the other is immediately looking within a 1-mile radius to get a store in the same place. Because they know if people are already going, we're just going to compete based on location. We don't have to worry about developing a market because there's already a market there. So, CVS, Walgreens, Pep Boys, AutoZone, all of these guys probably have something, going on together. But, hey, until the government steps in and says something, it's all conjecture anyway.
Yeah, that's right. And then the 2 managers have pillow fights with each other just to keep up appearances. Well, maybe not pillow fights, but have my
yeah. I forget where they do the pillow fights, but you just take them right there. There they are.
Oh my gosh. Not only that is the fact that they get to just really compete on location, but fact that really good marketing really sets you apart, especially if you build customer loyalty. So any advice for the small businesses who may need to build up customer loyalty?
Absolutely. So there's a whole bunch of ideas that you can look at in terms of loyalty, and not all of them are going to involve having to significantly discount what you're doing. A lot of it is going to be based on giving value to have people become ambassadors for you. Because at the end of the day, when somebody is an ambassador, they are going to be even better salespeople for you than your own internal sales staff, because your own internal sales staff is being paid to say, yeah, the company is amazing and they do this. But your ambassadors that are going out there that are not necessarily being compensated in the same way, you know, Dom, when you go out and you say, yeah, you know, that burger joint that we went to last night was absolutely incredible. It doesn't necessarily have to be one of the major fast food places. It can be a specialty place, right? You know, the fish place, whatever. I'm sending people there, and they're going because of me. They're not going because of some commercial that they saw or some other means. And that's a way that they're continuing the loyalty, because you're getting out there and generating more buzz. Another thing that you always want to look at is you want to be looking at what are you doing to keep them coming back. Do you have a loyalty program already in place, and are you actually looking at the information you're collecting when you're having people sign up for your loyalty program? For instance, do you have a birthday club? How many people get offers on their birthday from the most frequented places that they go to, right? Some places are doing it right, and they're saying, okay, fine, Dom, your birthday is January 17th, whatever. We're going to send you an offer at the beginning of January saying, or in December saying, come on in any time during the month of January and get 20% off your bill. Now, 20% off your bill, I'm going against what I said earlier about discounting, but it's increasing the value of the ticket, because if I know that I have $20 or 20% off of my bill, I'm probably going to be spending more, because I know that if I go to this particular restaurant, I want to get the same thing, and maybe I'm going to splurge on dessert. I'm going to splurge on something else that is going to allow me to have that 20% coming off of my bill, where it's still going to be the same $7,500, whatever it is that I may be normally spending for that dinner at this location. And then I also have another experience, because the next time I come back, if I really like that dessert, you know, I love that ambrosia cake, now I'm going to come back, and next time I'm going to get that ambrosia cake, whether or not I have a 20% off offer, just because I really enjoyed it the last time I was there. Or that appetizer that I didn't ever try before because I didn't want to spend another $9 on an appetizer. Now I'm going to do it because it was absolutely amazing last time. You know, there's ideas like that that you can look at even when you do discount in terms of the upsell opportunity to add more value to that particular person. Other ways that you can also look at increasing loyalty is offering points that people can build up, and you have it that, excuse me, you can either redeem it here where the points are worth more, or you can have partner people like your joint venture strategy we mentioned earlier, where you can allow people to use some of those points and invest it into those other businesses. Because now all of you are now involved in a closed-loop loyalty program where everybody can be using points from all of those locations to be sharing the points, say, over here, over here, over here. So the florist goes to the jeweler, goes to the photographer, goes to all of these places, and I can be having points pay for pieces of the pie, and then I'm always going to be still coming back to the other places.
Oh, yeah. That's right, Dave.
It's all about thinking outside the box.
That's right. When you think outside the box, you just burn that box, just blow it up like, yeah. All right. Now I have more space. Yeah, but solid right there indeed, especially with the whole 20% discount thing. I found myself victim to that myself many times. And everyone's like, yeah, so $25 off, you spend $100, and then you end up spending $40 extra out of nowhere to meet the $100 minimum. and then
Right.
boom, you walk out with more stuff.
And that's the way that they know, it's consumer psychology. If you know what somebody is going to do, it's like, very often in the supermarkets, they'll put, must buy 3 items to get this particular deal. And when you look at what the deal is, okay, fine, it's when you buy 3, you get it for $2.99. But if you buy 1, it's $3.99. So what am I really getting in order to get that extra dollar off of 3? I'm spending more buying now just so that I can save the money. But when you look at the stores, so often they're succeeding because they're saying buy 3 and get this deal. And that's exactly the way that you can do it. You're discounting, but you're increasing the ticket. So your average margin is still remaining relatively similar.
That's right. Well, with all this knowledge and experience and the whole classic, it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. What's probably the best way you think this helped you to gain all this expertise that allowed you to help so many other people?
So for me, it was, a lot of working with people. The marketing that I learned in college, quite honestly, is not the marketing of today. I say it in my book, traditional marketing and advertising just don't do anything anymore for people. I can't tell you how often I still run into people, and they're saying, what are you doing for marketing? And the answer is, I'm placing an ad in the Yellow Pages. No, I love the people that do that because they realize, they're still stuck in the 1990s when the phone book was actually something that we still needed. And even in the 90s, let's be real, you got a phone book, it probably was used to prop up your table when you were missing a leg. In terms of the things that are out there today, you have to know digital marketing. You have to know what it means to have social media that's actually being generate interest for you and to have a following. You have to understand what email marketing is because email marketing is even more than what traditional social media marketing is going to be because people are going to be 9 times more likely to buy from your email list than they are from your social media channels. So if you're not doing all of those things the right way, it's not working. And what allowed me to be getting all this experience was the years of marketing, the years of working with clients that I was working with, where I was fine-tuning my knowledge with that. And I also had my coaches and my mentors that helped me really realize where I needed to get. Because at a certain point, I realized, when I started my career, I was making a whopping $8 an hour working in a Chinese restaurant. $8 an hour, I'm sorry, you can't have any kind of financial freedom at $8 an hour. And yes, I'm going back, like 20 years, but $8 an hour is still not enough money for anything. You can't even have rent at $8 an hour, especially here in the greater New York area. And in terms of the things that I started looking at was I started looking, how can I get more knowledge? How can I really reach more people? And that's when I started looking at the gurus, reading the books and the magazines and everything, trying to understand what can I do and learn how to really get where I needed to be. And then I found my coaches who gave me so much more benefit than the investment that I made just in terms of the financial investment. That was dwarfed by the value that I got when I was working with them because they helped me fine-tune my message, helped me fine-tune what I needed, and they're always there for me when I've got questions because, the greatest coaches have coaches. The greatest athletes have coaches. Everybody has a coach. Everybody has that mentor that they go to when they need somebody's help. Dom, you mentioned that you were John Maxwell certified. When you have questions, you're going to somebody in John's team to answer that question. You're not doing it on your own because not everything have you experienced before. It's the same thing here. I've got my coaches that help me when I still need advice because I don't know all the answers, but between my coaches and my network, we've probably seen like 99% of the issues that may come up in business, and we can handle the particular situation. So that's how, when you have the right people behind you, you're able to get that experience to say, look, I can be an overnight success after 10 years, or I have the right people and help me. Henry Ford is famously quoted saying, I may not know all the answers, but I got a button on my desk that I push and I get the answer.
Yeah, that's right. Teamwork making the dream work indeed. That's right. Yeah, plus it's a waste of headspace too. It's like if you can't really think of new ways to make your life better and the lives of others around you better, because you have so much statistics and facts that probably win you points at parties or whatever. Even though folks can just pull out the smartphone and Google stuff. I mean, it's kind of better that way to actually have that mindset to focus on what you're doing. And heck, even having a coach as well. Heck, even because I noticed a difference in myself personally when it's like taking a break from not having a coach or a mentor for a few months. It's like the contrast is really amazing indeed. It's like those who are at the top of their game, they have someone they can go to that can help keep them mentally at the top of their game, as well as in other aspects too.
Absolutely. The great Sir Anthony Hopkins was asked by one of my coaches when he was interviewed, my coach James Malinchak, ABC Secret Millionaire James Malinchak, interviewed Sir Anthony Hopkins. And he asked Anthony Hopkins, do you still have coaches? And Anthony Hopkins answered, I absolutely do. I have multiple. I have a voice coach for when I'm in the theater. I have a voice coach for when I'm on camera. Why? Because both of those require different ways to use your voice. The power needs to be different when you're in live theater versus on camera, because the boom is right on you on camera, whereas you may need to be a little more to reach the back of the theater. He has an acting coach because sometimes he still needs that. He has a voice coach because sometimes he needs people to help him with different accents. He has a nutritionist to help him live healthy. He has a personal trainer to help him live healthy. All of these areas, people think, yeah, I can wing it on my own. I don't need that. And somebody who's, Academy Award winner and so many other honors in his career, that he's still having coaches, it just shows you need coaches when you're out there. You need somebody who's going to be behind you, that when you have a question, you're going to get that answer, and it's not going to be you spending hours and hours, or worse, years, trying to figure out the answer after spending however much time it was, if you could have just invested the money right now and skipped to the end of the line.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's a great example that you're still going with your own advice of make sure you have a coach to keep yourself accountable and to keep yourself productive. And congrats again on the newest book. So is there going to be an audio book in addition to this book as well?
It may be. Right now, in terms of the book, just have to get a couple of things finished. Should be out, within the month, so that we can get that going. And, we're always looking at making additional opportunities available for people to keep learning, because that's the way that it works.
Alrighty, coming down to the pike to the question every guest gets to answer, and that is, if you were to wake up tomorrow and you were 25 again, but this time in the current year of 2019, what advice would you give to yourself?
Invest in your coaches now instead of waiting. Without a question, it's always like if you had the ability to see, what else you can do. How can I get to the financial freedom point where I am today instead of where I was back then? And the answer is invest in the coaches, invest in your education, invest in yourself, and stop worrying about the, vacation and the cars and the house and all that other stuff, because you're just joining the rat race instead of getting ahead. If you can be ahead and you can actually focus on the things that are really important, knowing that once you have the financial freedom because your business is doing better, all of a sudden now you're able to look forward and you're saying, well, yeah, I can have the house, I can have the car, I can have the vacations, I can have the schools for my kids, I can have the lifestyle that I want. It's a lot easier knowing what you have today. So if you're out there and you're 20 years old, you're 25 years old, you're 30, whatever, invest in yourself. Start believing in what you want to do, believing in making a difference, believing in getting out there, and invest in yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Make that investment. That's right. That's why I call it invest. It goes into you. That's right. Just like food and water goes into you. That's right. Invest in yourself. Well, alrighty. So for those who want to be shiny glass vases and keep up with what you're doing, what's the best way for folks to reach out to you, Jen?
Look me up at bgsiacademy.com or find me on social media at @thejenglass. That's with 2 N's. That's a great way to find me. And is it okay if I make a special offer for your listeners?
Oh, go on ahead.
So if anybody wants to take a look at the bgsiacademy.com site and try out the site for 30 days, learn some of the strategies that I go through in my book, but really take a deeper dive into the Academy, if you reach out to me via the Academy or social media and you say, hey, I want to get access to your system, for the first 10 people that contact me and say that they heard this offer on the Going North podcast, I will grant you 30 days access to the system. That's a $97 value.
Woohoo! There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Value add, baby. Value add. That's right.
It's always about helping.
That's right. She's helping folks. That's right. Your business is going to get a six-pack soon with the wonderful Jen Glass. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Well, all right, folks, go on out there. Take advantage of that wonderful offer. Check out her book. Buy a copy. Buy 1,000 copies. Buy 50 copies. Heck, even follow social media pages and all that good stuff indeed. So any parting words for the folks still listening, Jennifer?
Really focus on what is going to make a difference in your life. Focus on the things that you can do right now. And if you can find a way to make a difference in your community, make that difference. Get involved. Get out there. So nice to hear people are always saying, well, I wish this can be different. Make it different. You have a voice. Use it. Get out there and make it happen for you, your business, your family, your community. Make things happen. Start investing in yourself and go from there. And I'd love to see all of you checking out my book. It's The Bottom Line That Matters, Quick Tips and Strategies You Can Use to Grow Your Business in the Next 12 Months. It's really going to be an incredible opportunity, and you'll learn from that as well as in the bgsiacademy.com site really how to start making those business dreams of yours a reality.
How's it going, you showstopper? It's great that you enjoyed this episode of the Going North podcast. If you really enjoyed it, be sure to shoot the guest an email or head over to the social media pages and leave them a nice response that you heard them on the Going North podcast, so that way they can continue to be inspired to do great things. And be sure to share this podcast with others that you think would enjoy it as well, because we want to inspire as many people as possible to live their dreams, embrace them, and to do something positive.